Hello, it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Fingers crossed this goes according to plan. It hasn't so far this afternoon, so I'm hopeful. I've just posted on Instagram that I could either have my streaming software open or YouTube. I needed both. I think this is the 6th time of trying. I'm hoping. Anyway, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Liz Yuille. I'm from Old Stables Crafts and I'm based in the UK, just outside Oxford. It is not my hobby, it is my job. Well, it's my hobby as well, but this is what I do all day, which is amazing. And really exciting from today, woohoo, Sale-a-bration and the new mini catalogue. So I'm going to be using stuff from Sale-a-bration and from the annual catalogue. Go figure. Hello Claire, hello Carol, hello Joanna. So yes, right, bit of housekeeping. If you're watching live, you should see a red live button somewhere on the screen. If you don't already subscribe, you should also see a subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. Love it if people subscribe. And if you're enjoying what you see, thumbs up is always appreciated. If you're watching on replay, there won't be a live button anywhere on the screen. There may not be if you're watching live, but there definitely won't be if you're watching on the replay. And somewhere in the title, it will say replay, because that's the first thing I do when I finish my lives, is I change the title to say replay, and I also change the slide at the beginning to show replay as well. So if you've got any questions or comments and you're watching on replay, below the description bar is a great place to put them, and a thumbs up is still very appreciated. Hello Brenton. How has it? You must be coming to the end of your first day of Sale-a-bration and the new mini catalogue. I've had an awesome day already. I've already got a new team member, which is just amazing. Hello Tina, Happy New Year to you too. Hello Karen, hello Tara, hello Cindy from Maryland. I think you're a first time commenter. Tina is also from Maryland. Oh, I wonder if you're close. And Mary Kay is also from Maryland. We've got lots of people from Maryland today, which is just great. So by all means, chat amongst yourselves if you want to find out if you live close to each other and that sort of thing. I love that that happens. Hello, Ineke. Welcome from the Netherlands. So yes, it's 11 o'clock this morning. I had my first new team member and I'm just thrilled. Happy New Year to you too, Ineke. She is someone who has shopped with me twice, but only in December. And she's already looking so keen. In the UK, we have to wait for 7 days after signing up before we're allowed to place our first order. It's to do with UK legislation and stuff. So I think she's going to be champing at the bit to place her first order. I might be wrong. You never know. Anyway, I'm just thrilled that she has joined. I'm going to flip the camera down and we'll have a very, very quick look at the Sale-a-bration catalogue because we can open it now. And then we will get started. So let me flip down. There we go. So, Sale-a-bration. This runs until the 28th of February. The really good news that we got at about 11:05 last night. Oh, hello Lisa from California. Thank you, Tina. Your first customer's probably going to join too, Ineke. Woohoo! Is this the lady from Belgium? That would be amazing. Hello, Leslie. I mean, even if it's not your lady from Belgium, it would be amazing. Oh, Ineke, good point. There are some appalling storms pretty much over the whole of the United States at the moment. Well, and Canada. Anyway, so Sale-a-bration, as I say, about 11:05 last night. there was a message on the demonstrator website to say that, where is it? Nearly in the house, dare I say, the Boho Blue Mini Cut and Emboss is in Europe. So those of you who are demonstrators and are in Europe and who are waiting to be able to buy it, because as a demonstrator we were allowed to pre-order it. If you were in South Pacific or North America, you could pre-order it. But in Europe, we can still order it. We've got 30 days to place an order for the Boho Blue Mini Cut and Emboss. Otherwise, you can get it as part of your starter kit. And it's an amazing starter kit. It's got more product in it than usual. It's €55 or £40 more product than usual, whichever option you go for. And you can either do £99 and just have the product, wow, or you can go 100 and that's €129, or you can go £170 or 100. Hang on, no, or you can go €160 or £125, and you can include either the Boho Blue or the white mini cut and emboss. And there's no postage. Woohoo. So, let's catch up. You've got a new team member too, Brenton. Way! That's brilliant. I'm thrilled. No, it's not your lady from Belgium. It's the lady you craft with regularly. And she's fallen in love with the gnomes. Excellent. And Brenton has got the mini boho. Mine's already on its way to me. I am so thrilled. So yes, I placed the product share order this morning at about 6 o'clock UK time. I have expedited it and I have included the new kit, which looks really amazing, and it's really inexpensive. In the UK, it's £13. It's a non-stamping kit, so it's got everything you need to make, I think it's 9 thank you cards. And it's only £13, but that's in there as well. So I've expedited the order for all of the product shares. So that's one box. Well, actually, it's two because the mini is coming in a different box. And then I put in a separate order for the things that I wanted from the mini that I didn't already have. And that has already shipped as well. Again, I did expedite it. Hello, Kathy. USA's been pummeled with nasty weather. I know. You've got snow in Minnesota. And thank you. Thank you. Hello, Beverly from Colorado. Right, so I'm not actually using anything from the mini. But I am using something from the Sale-a-bration catalogue. So, Sale-a-bration, for those of you who don't know, and I'm going to talk pounds, like sterling and euros, for those of you who are in North America, South Pacific, by all means, add in the chat what your values are, but I haven't got them. So, for either £45 or €60 that you spend on product before shipping, you can get what I call a level 1 item. And the level 1 items are the adorable owls, which are very cute. Thanks a bunch, which is all around carrots, which I thought were going to be weird, but I love them. The Dainty Flowers paper, which I've been using to death, and coordinates with the Dainty Delight bundle, which is conveniently priced so that if you buy the bundle, you can get the paper for free. You're loving the new kit too. I know, it looks wonderful, doesn't it? Could you grab a catalogue? Leslie, go over to my website and go to the catalogue page and request what catalogues you want, and I will pop them in the post to you. Thank you, Tara. $90 or 180 Aussie dollars for Australia. So yes, they're very clever. The Dainty Flowers you can get as your free item for the Dainty Delight bundle. This I've used a lot. There's a Day at the Farm paper, which again is priced so that you can, if you get the bundle, you can get the paper. Awesome. There's the Sending Support stamp set, which is kind of standalone. The paper, Favoured Flowers. I'm cringing every time I see favoured because it's not spelt right for the UK. Again, the bundle, the Fragrant Flowers bundle, is priced perfectly to get the paper as well, and you can get that either in cling red rubber or photopolymer, whichever you prefer. Then we've got the In the Country, which I used earlier this week, the Beautifully Happy, which I will be using this afternoon, and is it's what I would call a level 2, so it's £90 or 120 euros. And I'm also using some of the Dandy Designs paper, which again is a level 2, so £90 or 120 euros. And if you get together with your chums and spend at least, and they don't put this in the catalogue, I mean, sorry, but £275, and I can't remember what the euro equivalent is, you will automatically, and it does go in without you doing anything, you'll automatically get the Scenic Garden stamp set. But of course the best deal is the starter kit. Right. Hello Shaz, hope you and your daughter are both well. $50 for first level in the States. Thank you, Cindy. Oh, and people are saying thank you. And yes, level 2 is $100 in the States. So I have dug out, because I haven't used them yet and I've had them for a while, these split card textures dies, which are these two dies. So you've got a grid and you've got a kind of floral, and basically they cut half of your page for you, and I will show you that. So I have done pre-die cut that, for one in Petal Pink and one in Fresh Freesia, and I've die cut them before I've cut them down to size, if you see where I'm coming from. Kathy's already made several cards with it. It was one of the items I believe we got when we went to On Stage, and I have yet to ink it up. Hello, Deborah from Michigan. You placed your order at 2 a.m. this morning, Shaz. Now that's what I call keen. So I've got my 2 die cuts ready to go, and you can use them either way up. Don't know which way I'm going to use them yet. I've got a card base for each, and I've got paper to go behind each. Now, slightly irritatingly, the grid is not the same size as the paper. Maybe I'll turn it over. Oh no, that looks terribly fussy. So I am going to just go with the flow, because this is grid paper from the huge Dandy Designs set, which is the level 2 paper, which is just amazingly large. It's just got so many really useful, just what I would call solids. I mean, I know some of them are not solid by any manner or means, because they're very, very diagonal, but they're not fussy. They're, you know, a more all-over background. So I've chosen that one, and this one, which is very, very light. It's got a zigzag on the back, but it is polished. No, it's not. It's Petal Pink. So that's going to go behind there. It's not going to be a huge contrast, although I could go that way, I suppose. We'll see. Anywho, so the first thing I am going to do is cut these down. I've cut the paper to be my classic 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. Use that die as a mask for using on an Apple card. What a great idea. So I've trimmed the edge down so it's as narrow as it really could be, but I want this to be what I would call my normal sized base, so 5 5/8 by 3 7/8 of an inch. So let's go. This is 5 5/8. Yes, that's 5 5/8 that way. I might actually take it down to my second size, because I can. Then I'll have some of the paper poking through, which I think will be nice. I'll watch a lot of videos. That's where we get our ideas from. Brenton's already got 2 packs of the paper. He loves it. Hello, Lorna, and happy 2023 to you too. So yes, Lorna, we have a new team member. She's supposed to be sending me a Facebook friend invite. So we will be able to welcome her to our team page very soon, I hope. So I'm cutting both of these down at the same time. So those are my card fronts. I'm going to be then putting them onto my paper and onto the paper. So it's going to be really tone on tone. And the difference is going to come with the stamping. And I've got a scrap. Clearly it's a scrap. So let's grab the stamp set. Now the first thing I am going to do, I haven't used this yet, as I said. The first thing I'm going to do is prep my stamp set. Oh, thank you for doing the thumbs up, Shaz. Ooh, 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 ooh. How will you use them all? Inika has expressed to me in the past, I'm just going to take an eraser and rub it over these stamps. Those of you who know me know that this is what I do with my new, particularly photopolymer stamps, to get any finish that may have been left on from the manufacturing process off. So yes, and I agree with you on this, Inika, and I have raised it again. The fact that as a demonstrator, you may not, or indeed as a customer, I guess, but certainly as a demonstrator, you may not want all of your Sale-a-bration items, because, you know, how many packs of paper can anyone go through? Now, if you're running face-to-face classes, I can see that that is possibly going to be a bit of a weird thing for me to say, because you can always give it away, and I could always give it away, and indeed I generally do, but it would be nice to have the option to not take it. So if you're just a hobby demonstrator, and I say use just in the nicest sense of that, if you're a hobby demonstrator and you want to order lots of stuff, but you don't want 5 packs of the same paper or the same stamp set, would it not be possible to not have them? You'd like to think, wouldn't you? So I have raised it again. But yes. So I've got my... Actually, that's probably not the right one. Let's use my E-block. And this one I'm going to stamp solid. Oh, sorry, stamp in black. Yeah, I would do that as well, Brenton. Or after Sale-a-bration has finished, and I would say probably quite a long while after Sale-a-bration has finished, do it as a giveaway, or as a, you could sell it. So, yeah, there are things you can do with it, but it would be nice, I accept, to have the option to not. Right, okay, so I'm just going to spray this with Stampin' Mist. So I want to use it again, and it means that by the time I come to colouring in my flower, the memento will be dry. Although having said that, I might be using memento again, actually. Actually, no, I'm going to use a different colour. I'm going to use, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I'm going to use Smoky Slate for my second one. There is some method in my madness. Not a lot, but some. So this is going to be the one that will ultimately be Petal Pink. Now, if you find you're not getting a crisp impression, do remember that the piercing mat is always a good addition, or just make sure you have prepped your stamp fully. So that's those 2 bits done, and then I'm going to do the infills for the Petal Pink one, for which I therefore need a piece of scrap paper, which in my mind is therefore a piece of small grid paper. Love small grid paper. Shaz gave lots away as well. Well done, Kathy. So Tina is in street and would like to know where the other Maryland ladies are from, because I think there are 3 of you that are commenting. So let's take that one next, and a D block will do nicely. We'll also need that, which I'll put on a C block, and do I need that? I do need that, and I'm going to put that on an A block because he's only baby. So which ones do I? You can tell this is the first time I've used this stamp, can't you? So let's see. That goes that way. Right. Okay. So then I just need the leaves. The other flower is for the single flower image. Right. Okay. Now, to decide what colour green I'm going to use, I'm going to refer back to the paper pack, because the paper pack has put colours together. So they are using Granny Apple Green. So I will also use Granny Apple Green for my green. So, Petal Pink, Granny Apple Green, oh no, Shaz, not more pneumonia, that's rotten. Good morning, Baltimore. I love, there's a song, isn't there? Right, let's see. Yeah, that's, I think stamped off probably is the way. No, I'm going to go full strength actually. But it's useful to have the check. Right, so now I find the easiest way to line up a 2-step stamp is to only look at 2 points. Because if you start looking at everything, you're going to go mad. So as long as 2 points line up, everything else should more or less fall in place. There we are. Right, so now we'll do this one. And remember, I have prepped all of these by using an eraser over them. So, ooh. Oh, these are green. These are meant to be green. So let's take that off. Is that meant to be green as well? I think it is. I think everything else is meant to be green. So we'll go green. Right, oops, that's not one square. That's always possible, Shaz. It may be that you weren't fully recovered. Pneumonia can be a rotten thing. My brother, bless him, had pneumonia and didn't even realise. Well, he had a bad chest infection and ignored it because he was, quote, too busy. I mean, I'm going back years. And it developed into pneumonia. So then he had to be, you know, sensible. Happily, I've managed to avoid pneumonia. So again, I've lined up just a couple of points and it lines up. Right, so let's do this one. And again, I'm going to stamp it off. And again, I'm going to line up 2 points. So 2 points that are reasonably far apart. And then the other thing that I quite often do is I'll pop one corner down and then line up another corner and then just push. Thank you, Shaz. So there we are. That is, I don't know, oh, that must be for the other. Ah, this is for the single flower. So the other thing that we've got that we can use is a centre. So let's use, I'm going to use So Saffron for my centre. So that can just pop in there. And that is that image stamped. So while that's doing its thing, that goes over there, I'm going to pull out my blends to do the other image. So we are going fresh freesia. Now do remember that this is going to retire soon. Just saying, you know, in May we've got new ink colours. Thank you, Inika. So yes, we have new ink colours coming. Just saying. Again, I'm going to go Granny Apple Green and So Saffron. I may bring in more mauve. I may bring in Highland Heather as well, but for the moment I won't. So first thing to do is decide what is green and what isn't. So I'm going to use this as my guide. So this is colour. Oh, there was something flicking in the corner of my eye and it was a piece of acetate. This is also not green. So I'm going to fill in my images with the light fresh freesia to begin with. Now with blends you can build up colour without changing to another shade of the same colour. So you can layer up, but you can obviously use the dark and the light to get shading as well. But it is worth remembering that you can layer. Let's go in the middle before I forget, otherwise I will colour over the yellow centre, or what should be a yellow centre. So yes, for those of you who haven't watched the very start of this, there was a certain amount of stress going on in Old Stables HQ before I went live, because my laptop had decided it was going to have a hissy fit and was not going to let me see everything I needed to see in order to do a live stream, which was kind of unfortunate. I think it was its way of saying I've been ignoring my laptop, because I've got my new Surface Pro, which my dear husband, bless him, bought me for Christmas, which was very naughty of him. But it is now what I'm using pretty much for all of my admin. So it's only a very few things that I am using my old laptop for, and this is one of them. But what it does mean is I can leave my laptop set up with the cameras plugged in and that sort of thing, so I don't have to keep unplugging things. But I think it's having a hissy fit. So I'm basically just following the lines, and then I'm adding a bit more to the centre of this larger flower. Not quite sure what sort of flower it is, to be honest. I'm not very good at botany. And then I can come back in with my no apples. Barbara. Yeah, no apples. Definitely not an apple. Surface Pro is made by Microsoft. I have this thing, which some of you may know, that apples are a fruit. They are made for eating. But the Surface Pro is wonderful because this is going to become a trailer for Surface Pro. And I know this is doable on other devices as well. So I'm just colouring everything again with the light, just to blend everything in. I can use it either as a tablet or as a laptop or as a notebook, because it's got one of those clever pens, so I can use it as a notebook, which is great because I'm going to a conference next week for UK leaders, and we've got to bring a notebook, and I will take a notebook just in case, but I'm hoping to do most of it on my Surface Pro. Right, so this time I'm putting down the dark first, and that's because I want this to actually stand out a bit more. So I'm not going to blend it in quite as much. And I'm hoping that if I leave it there for a while, it will actually be quite solid by the time I get to it, you know, as in set. I'm just going to give a bit of shading around where the leaves go under the petals, and then a little bit more here, and again I'm just going to draw over those lines, and then I will be fussy cutting. For those of you who love fussy cutting, and I know that's not all of you. Keeping half an eye on the time, purely because as it's January, hubby and I are on our Be Good in January, and we always go for a walk in the afternoon, whatever weather it is. So earlier in the week it was pouring with, well actually it was, I say it was pouring with rain, it was that rain that wasn't very heavy but was coming from every direction. Oh yes, this is doing what I want it to do, which is not blend fully. So some of it I want blended, so here where it's shading I want blending, but for the veins I don't, and it's really just a question of how much extra ink you put down. So if you just go over the top rather than add extra, which is what I'm doing where the shading needs to be, then the lines will show more. So here I'm going to add extra ink and blend, and then the rest of the leaf I'm just going to add colour. That needs to be blended. And once I've done these, I will have a look at the comments and see what you've all been saying while I've been away. So this is almost going to be a 2-for-1. Not quite, but it's two ideas with the same stamp set using different techniques. Oh, and if you want shaker elements for particularly masculine cards, the grid on the split die does lots of rectangles and things, which would be just perfect. Right, so centre. Oh, and the only other thing I need to do is with my light blend, just add some colour, and I'm going to use it here as well. Of course you can. Right, what have you all been saying? Oh fiddle, I have to go. We'll watch. Oh, have fun, Tara, whatever you're doing. We're not saying much. We're watching you colouring. Oh, thank you. It's cold in here. Therefore, I have a slightly runny nose. It's not a cold. It's nothing other than a cold, slightly runny nose. Now, that one I may leave whole. This one I am going to fussy cut. Now. Yes. I'm just going to grab my light smoky slate, and I'm going to go around the outside of this with my light smoky slate. And you're probably going to think I'm having a bit of a meltdown. I'm not, honest. So this is a technique that has been around for ages. It tidies up if you've gone over the lines. It helps hide that, but also it helps the image, once it's been cut out, to not look quite so cut out. And that's whether it's a die cut or fussy cut. And I'm hoping I will be able to, maybe I'll do half of this to begin with, and then I'll add when I have cut out. We'll see. But I'm thinking that's what I might do. So as I say, this is light smoky slate. I'll finish around these ones and then I will stop and I will add once I've cut out. Right, I'll stop there. So the idea is, so I outline it. Yes, I do, Shaz. I've got quite a bit still to outline, but it's a way of helping it look more part of what you're putting it on top of. It also helps create a bit of a shadow. Now this is not simple fussy cutting, but those of you who watch me regularly know that I'm going to say, if you want to get good at fussy cutting, A, please turn the paper, not your scissors, and B, practice on things out of magazines, things out of mail shots. Just practice cutting around things. Now what you can do, and it's not something that I necessarily would advocate, but I know it does help for some people. If you're worried about keeping an equal distance from your stamped image, you can draw round the edge. I'm not that fussed if I'm not an equal distance in all the areas, so long as I've got the black still showing, that's kind of fine by me. But if you want it to have more of a die cut look, you can go round, and I will. So what you could do, and I'm going to exaggerate this, is you could go round the outside and then cut on that line. So that's my line there. I'm going to have to turn the heater off. Oh. Suddenly getting terribly warm. As I say, I'm not a great advocate of it, but some people do find it easier. Oh, I got up too quickly. Bit of head rush. So yes, that is an option. I will come back to what I'm going to do with those trapped pieces in here and here and here. Actually, that one's easy because I can get into that one. And I do quite often do that. I'll just get rid of a bit that's annoying me because it's going to go anyway. Let's go under there. Oh, I missed a bit. As in, I didn't put smoky slate around it. So yes, the petal pink one, I think, apart from anything else, from the sake of time, I will be leaving on its piece of paper. Card. Basic white. What whatever we want to call it. I'm not going to go into there. It's not worth it, to my mind. Right, so we're now at the pencil marks. Now, you can go round those. I'm not going to. I'm just going to follow what I would normally do. But as I say, you can. It may be that you find that easier. Certainly to begin with, I think it's just as easy, personally, to just make sure you're cutting white rather than black. Oh, I've just decided what I'm going to do to add to this card. I've sort of got an idea of what I'm going to do with the other card. And I am going to mount this before I add the smoky slate to the side where I don't have smoky slate, just so you can see for yourselves which you prefer, and it is a matter of personal taste. Don't feel you have to be influenced by anyone. So this I am going to go into, so please don't stab yourself when you do this. Hello, Jacqueline! Shaz still dislikes fussy cutting. New technique for you, Inika. Okay. See you later, Lisa. Oh, you've got a pinched nerve in your neck. Your hands hurt. Sorry, Inika, that's not good. Jacqueline, you're never late. Never late. It's one of those things, isn't it, Inika? I mean, I have sciatica, chronic sciatica. There's nothing anyone can do about it. It is actual nerve damage. Thank you, chemo. But hey, I'm here to tell the tale, and that's the main thing. You do kind of just get used to how you work around it, which is slightly depressing. But yeah, I keep seeing adverts for chiropractors and people who say they can cure your sciatica, and I'm going, no, you can't. It's actual nerve damage. And I have peripheral neuropathy as well, which for as long as it doesn't go into my hands more than it is already, it's fine. Right, so that's that one. Let us very quickly pop this card together. So let's line up the edges, always a plan. And score. So this is going, as I say, they're both going to be very tone on tone. So that's going to go there. And I'm going to grab a very small piece of, well, relatively small piece of the open weave ribbon. And actually, I think I was going to tie it around the stem, but I think actually I'm just going to tie a standalone bow. Should have left it attached to the reel, and stick it over the top. Yes, should have left it attached to the reel. I'll get the reel. Come on, reel. It's much easier to tie a bow with a long piece of ribbon. So I just make 2 loops and then tie them together. The key is to not lose that end. And I will be able to tie a bow with that other piece. Just, it will take a while. So we'll have a little bow. So yes, for those of you who are joining a little later, which is fine, it's allowed, you have a life. Sale-a-bration has started, and there is the best joining offer I have seen, I think, ever. So you can have a look at my website, and all the details are there. You have 3 options: just product, or product and a mini cut and emboss, and you can choose the colour of your cut and emboss to a degree. Right, so I'm going to add my paper straight onto here, and I'm going to add my die cut over the top. So now, if you think I'm putting adhesive all over this, you have got another thing coming. I'm just going to go round the edge. And then this. It's all it needs. And I could do without the fuzzy bit, but that's because, ooh, I've just smudged the glue. Never mind. It will come off with my glue eraser. So yes, I've got smudged glue up there, but it's fine. Right, I'm going to use dimensionals. That's the word I'm looking for. So I need a little one there and a little one there. And other than that, oh, and possibly a strip. Come on. Just there. And then I've now got glue all over my hands. It's fine. So in the next week or so, probably week, I will be launching my next class in a box, so that I can have that out in the, that's clever, just take the top off the dimensional, so I can have the details of that floating around in the atmosphere whilst I am packing product shares, which will be hopefully next week. Right, you fussy cut the turtle. But didn't you try this one? Just use a rectangle die. I'm actually just going to use a trimmer. But a rectangle die is as good. Nerve damage usually doesn't heal, absolutely. Yeah, I'd rather work around it as well. So that's going to go there. And then our bow, with the aid of a glue dot, or 2 glue dots apparently. Just going to fold one in half. There we go. That can go, oops, just there. Then I believe our opaque adhesive back gems, new in the mini catalogue, are fresh freesia. If they're not, they're a very good imitation, so I'm going to use the mauve ones as if they're fresh freesia. I'm going to make sure I don't stab my hand. However, they come in 3 sizes, which I love. So we'll have one just tucked in under there. Now they are that that faceted look, which means that the it will pick up the light. So you don't need to be too concerned about it. So that's that one, and I will sort out the adhesive shortly. Let's get rid of that. So let's put the other one together. And again, we're going to start by making our card base. Half a sheet. Doesn't matter whether you do it long and thin or short and fat. And of course that will need a liner, and I would think adding the standalone flower to the inside would be perfect as a little embellishment on the inside of your card, because there is this little flower here. So that's that way, I think. Now this one you could, if you wanted, and I don't have time, you could put this on dimensionals, because these are going to be small enough for the minis. I say I don't have time. Do you know, I want to do it. I do have time. I'm going to make time. And then I'm going to have to run. Because I have my 4 o'clock assignation to go for a walk. Don't need to put a dimensional behind every single one of these. Just a few will do. Some of them are a little larger than others. I'm going to call that a day. Oh, actually maybe one there. And then oh, and I was going to show you the difference between having and not having the smoky slate on the mauve one. Come along. And it's actually going to be dry today for our walk, I think. It does scream spring, Inika. They do look like hollyhocks, and of course we've got a hollyhock stamp set in the annual. You might have to fussy cut it. Well, there you go. You might have to. I think I'm going to go that way. There we go. And then I'm going to trim this as small as I can. So it's pretty okay on the sides. So let's see what I can do here. Let's go really tight in. That'll do. And this, because I don't want this to be an expensive card to post, I'm just going to pop there with some seal. And what I will do and will post on my website is I will then add a sentiment here to make that kind of come together. But let me get the camera so I can see. Can I get this to pick up? I think I can. So this hasn't got the smoky slate, and this has. Now, depending on how large your screen is, I can see that this stands out a lot more than this. This kind of blends in a bit more. So I will retrofit the smoky slate to that one. I'll try and take a picture of it before and then retrofit it and post both. Date time, absolutely. Walk. They are wonderful, aren't they, Tina? So there we are. Those are our 2 cards for today. I will add an embellishment to this. In fact, I even know which one I will add. And it's going to be this one, which is this month's host gift. So if you shop from me and use the host code, this is what you will get. And it is now going to be an expensive card, just saying. But this is what I will be sending my January shoppers. And by this I mean not this, but this, the Milky Dots. I love them. So there you are. 2 new embellishments, 2 existing dies, and a Sale-a-bration item. So if you've enjoyed it, a thumbs up is always appreciated. Let me flip the camera back up so I can say farewell properly. Hello. So let me just go back so I can see your comments. So, as I say, if you've enjoyed it, a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you've got any questions after this has finished being live, you can pop those in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. If you need a catalogue and you're in the UK, go to my website and the catalogues page. You can request any catalogue, so the annual, the mini, and the Sale-a-bration brochure. just let me have your address and all the, well, there's a form to fill in, and I will pop that in the post to you. Do have a look at the joining offer if you're not already a demo, because it seriously is an amazing offer, and there is no there's no ongoing commitment. So if you decide you don't want to continue as a demonstrator and get the discount that you get as a demonstrator, that's up to you, but you will get the discount till the end of July anyway. So thank you very much indeed. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm going to go and put my wellies on and go for a walk. Bye for now. Now all I have to do is find my closing screen, of course.